Front and Center. Front and Center. A focus on important and significant developments affecting the lives of Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also those living and working around the world. Join us in Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome to Front and Center, where we focus on developments in the Philippines, legislation that provides policies and directions that strives to promote a better economy for the country, issues that concern the welfare and well-being of every Filipino. All of these and more will be Front and Center. You can watch this program live on our Facebook page, Radyo Pilipinas World Service, and you can catch up this program on our YouTube channel on the same page. And also you can hear us live on Evox PBS receiver app. So join us for another edition of Front and Center with your host, Jerome Toledo.
Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Over the weekend, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. announced the return of the 60 billion peso in excess funds to the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth, after its previous transfer to the National Treasury to support the state health insurers' expansion. And to recall, that story began with the Department of Finance, or DOF, ordering the transfer of 89.9 billion pesos in what it called excess and idle government subsidies from PhilHealth to the National Treasury. And that move was done in compliance with a provision in the 2024 General Appropriations Act, or GAA, that allowed for the use of fund balances from government-owned and controlled corporations, or GOCCs, to finance other government projects, including infrastructure, and to give the funds to social services. And the move was met with strong opposition and a legal challenge, with petitions filed before the Supreme Court, arguing that PhilHealth's funds, which are partially sourced from the sin taxes earmarked for health, should be used exclusively for the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Act. And the Supreme Court subsequently issued a temporary restraining order, or TRO, on the transfer of the funds, by that time, the 60 billion peso fund had already been moved to the National Treasury, which left of more than 20 billion pesos in PhilHealth's custody. And the DOF and other government agencies defended the transfer, stating that it was legal and economically sound, and they argued that the funds were government subsidies, not member contributions, and that a significant portion had already been used for crucial health and social programs, such as paying health emergency allowances to COVID-19 frontliners. And they also stated that PhilHealth had enough funds to continue its operation and expand its benefits. However, the president's recent announcement reverses the decision of the finance department, or the government plan to return the money from the PhilHealth to the National Treasury, which is the return of the 60 billion peso in excess fund to the PhilHealth from the National Treasury. And the president's recent announcement reverses that move. And President Marcos Jr. stated that the 60 billion peso will be restored to the state health insurer, with the funds coming from savings generated from other agencies such as the Department of Public Works and Highways. And the DPWH proposed budget was recently reviewed and trimmed by hundreds of billions of pesos due to issues with flood control projects. So, meaning to say, legally speaking, it is pending, but right now the president has moved the controversial fund from the National Treasury and now back to PhilHealth. So what does this mean, and how can this large amount of money can help advocate the Philippines on its universal healthcare law. So we will have the spokesperson of the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation on the line in just a moment. But in the meantime, Front and Center will be right back after these short messages. You're listening to Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Huy, nabiktima ka na ba ng fake news? Sa panahon ng digital media, learn how to spot fake news. Check the source. Kung di legit, dapat magduda. Check the purpose. Informative or troll post at clickbait lang. Check the ownership. Mapagkakatiwalaan ba ang pinagkukuhanan nito? Check the time and date. Baka naman outdated na yung news na yan, ha? SPOT. Together, let's spot fake news. Tiyakin ang katotohanan, fake news ay labanan.
A friendly message from PCO, DepEd, CHED, DSWD, DILG, PBS at Radyo Pilipinas.
Mas pinadali na ang government transactions sa tulong ng eGovPH Super App. Pwedeng-pwede mo nang magawa ang lahat ng ito. I-download ang eGov app sa iyong smartphone o tablet mula sa App Store o Google Play Store. Pagkatapos, ilagay ang iyong mobile number at i-authenticate gamit ang one-time PIN o OTP para marehistro ang iyong account. Saka ilagay ang iyong mga pangunahing impormasyon at kumpletuhin ang facial recognition technology para sa verifikasyon ng iyong pagkakakilanlan. Para sa mas mabilis at mas maayos na serbisyong panggobyerno, gamitin na ang eGovPH Super App.
Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome back to Front and Center here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service with me, Jerome Toledo. And I just mentioned earlier, the President, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., announced the return of the 60 billion peso in excess funds to the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth, from the National Treasury after its previous transfer to the National Treasury to support the state health insurers expansion. So what does this mean, and will services of PhilHealth be expanded upon the return of the money? So to explain and have more details regarding this development, we have now on the line the spokesperson of Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, none other than Dr. Israel Pargas. Good morning, Doc Ish. Thank you so much for joining us in the program. This is Jerome Toledo from Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You're live.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Jerome, and good morning to everyone.
Okay, so may I ask this? So what is the specific timeline for the return of the 60 billion peso from the National Treasury back to PhilHealth? Do you have any timeline for this?
Well, first, we are very happy and very much appreciative of this new development that the President decided to return back the 60 billion pesos to PhilHealth. But as to the timeline, we still don't know yet when it's going to be really returned back to the PhilHealth coffers, and we still don't know if it will be covered by the 2025 budget savings, or will it be covered by 2026 GAA provisions. So we still don't know, but we are hoping that it will be returned to us the soonest possible time.
Okay, so would this be a one-time transfer if that happens, or would it be a staggered release?
Well, we don't know with the Department of Finance under the Bureau of Treasury. We have not yet seen any memorandum on the return of this. What we have right now is really the statement of the President.
I see. Okay. By this move from the President, so do you see any legal challenges given that there's a pending issue related to this, Dr. Ish?
Well, I don't want to make any comment on that. But again, we are very much happy and appreciative that the President decided to and ordered to return the 60 billion to us, even if there is no decision yet coming from the Supreme Court. As it is right now, it is pending the legal issue with them.
Originally, Dr. Ish, that's 89.9 billion peso that was
It
ordered.
was ordered for us to return, yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Mm-hmm.
we were only able to return around 60 billion pesos, and there was a TRO issued by the Supreme Court to stop returning money.
Mm-hmm. So what happened to that remaining amount, which is I think that's 29.9 billion, if I may
Well,
ask.
it's still it remained with us, and we are using it as support to make our benefit expansion more sustainable and our future plans for it to have to be funded.
Okay. Although we don't have the figures, we don't have of the timeline of when this amount will be returned to PhilHealth, but given that this fund will be returned anytime soon, how exactly will the 60 billion peso be used? Are there any new or expanded benefit packages and services that will be offered then?
Well, basically, even if there is no news yet of the return of the 60 billion, PhilHealth has been aggressively increasing its benefit. Like, if you would remember, in 2024 and 2025, we have increased so much of our benefit. We have introduced a lot of new benefits, and still we continue to introduce new benefits this 2025, like the new coverage for gamot or outpatient drugs, wherein we cover new 54 drugs, covering around 20,000 per person per year. We have a new free screening test for 6 cancer diseases, which are free also for every member. And we are continuously improving we are continuously reviewing our leptospirosis package, our animal bite, our HIV treatment package, our maternity care packages to include NSD and cesarean section, and we are to introduce soon our land ambulance package. So you see, even if there is no announcement of the 60 billion return, we are still continuing to expand our benefit. And so the entry of the 60 billion, if ever it will be returned to us, will actually be very good and very much help for the sustainability of these new benefits and hopefully other benefits that will be expanded in the future by PhilHealth, and to support the service optimization of PhilHealth through digitalization to make things more efficient and more fast and convenient for our members.
So meaning not it's not just about adding the packages, benefits and packages, but also it will help achieve of what we aim for. So which is the true universal healthcare. Is that right, Dr. Ish?
Yes, correct. It will also help us when, of course, we have increased our benefit packages. Then the counterpart deduction in the benefits of our members in the hospitals will be increased, and so it will greatly help the zero balance billing of the government. And of course, it will lower the out-of-pocket of our members. Therefore, they are more financially protected in times of illnesses.
So if 60 billion peso fund will return to PhilHealth's coffer, so meaning to say we will not expect any increase on members' contribution anytime soon. Should the funds be returned?
Well, yes. Basically, Jerome, according to the law, to the UHC law, the maximum premium contribution is at 5%. And we have reached that in 2024. So there is no way for us to increase the premium contribution anytime soon unless another law is passed.
Okay. So aside from the zero balance billing and also expanding benefits packages, so would this 60 billion be used also to improve PhilHealth services?
Yes, as I've said, it can also be used for the optimization of our services and to continue funding our digitalization to make our services more convenient and more fast and easy for our members.
Okay, so 60 billion pesos. So may I ask, so what's going to be the projected actuarial life of the fund if this money returned to the PhilHealth coffers?
Well, I don't have any figures right now, but hopefully it will increase our actuarial life, but most importantly, it will sustain our benefit expansion and our service optimization.
Okay, so while we don't have the 60 billion pesos yet return, but and also the challenge, the ball now is in the Supreme Court, I guess. So we will have to coordinate with our in the judiciary department so that they can fast track the return of the 60 billion so that more members will be service of the PhilHealth.
Well, I don't know. This is on a personal note.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if we still have to wait for the decision of the Supreme Court for its return because the president already has ordered the return of such money.
I see. Okay. So nonetheless, if the money will be returned, it will greatly help our PhilHealth members and also the PhilHealth itself then to expand its
yes.
services and the zero balance
Yes.
billing.
Oh yes, Jerome. It will greatly help not only PhilHealth, but of course all our members. Again, to make our program more sustainable.
I see. Okay. Well said. Okay. And with that note, thank you so much, Dr. Israel Pargas, for joining us in the program. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Yeah, thank you very much also, Jerome, and thank you everyone. Good.
Okay, so you just heard the spokesperson of the Philippine Insurance Health Corporation or PhilHealth, Dr. Israel Ish Pargas. Front and Center will be right back after these short messages.
Paano nga ba mag-register para magkaroon ng schedule sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center? Narito ang mga dapat gawin. Gamit ang iyong mobile device, pumunta sa eGovPH app. Pwede itong i-download mula sa Apple App Store o sa Google Play Store. Gumawa ng account. Ilagay ang email address, valid mobile number, pagkatapos ay makakatanggap ka ng one-time code sa iyong email. Gamitin ang code sa eGov app para sa verification ng iyong account at ng mga impormasyong ibinigay. Congratulations! Meron ka ng eGovPH app account. Pwede mo na ma-access ang iba't ibang serbisyo ng gobyerno kabilang ang mga serbisyo sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center.
Paliwanag mo sa tao na hindi totoo yan.
Dahil ang totoo, yung totoo ang dapat ninyong malaman.
Nagkalat sa internet ang fake news
Ang
o
ginagawa
mali
ng
at
fake news, tinatakot niyo yung tao.
What they are doing is creating panic.
We say no.
Yung pagkalat ng fake news. And some of it's dangerous.
Sana iwasan po natin pag-spread ng fake news.
At di magpapakalat ng disinformation at misinformation ang kasulukuyang administrasyon.
Stop telling us fake news because you're wrong.
Para sa totoo at mapagkakatiwalaang mga balita at impormasyon, Radyo Pilipinas.
Itinuloy na po natin ang zero balance billing. Libre po. Ibig sabihin, ang serbisyo sa basic accommodation sa ating mga DOH na ospital, wala nang babayaran ang pasyente.
Po, ang dami pong challenge, hindi po namin alam kung saan namin kukunin, ganon, nag-iisip kung paano namin mababayaran. Siyempre po, masayang-masaya, super saya po dahil na zero billing po kami. Opo, malaking ano po talaga, malaking tulong po. Mabilis lang din po.
Bayad na ang bill ninyo. Uulitin ko, wala nang kailangan bayaran ng pasyente basta sa DOH Hospital. dahil bayad na po ang bill ninyo.
Naiyak ako kasi sobrang saya. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President Bongbong Marcos Jr. Hindi kami nagkamali ng taong ihinalal.
This is a public service announcement.
Discipline is the key. Umiwas sa aksidente sa daan. Ang pagmamaneho ay may kaakibat na responsibilidad. Hindi basta mapaandar lang ang sasakyan. Kilatisin ang sarili, ang kahandaan sa manibela. Siguruhing inyong konsentrasyon ay hindi magagambala. Importante rin na ating laging isipin, init ng ulo ay huwag pairalin. Bagkus, kaligtasan ng lahat ang siyang dapat unahin. Isang mahalagang paalala mula sa Presidential Broadcast Service at Radyo Pilipinas, Radyo Publiko 738.
This is a public service announcement.
Public service announcement
From PBS, Presidential Broadcast Service at Radyo Pilipinas, Radyo Publiko 738.
Front and center. Front and center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome back to Front and Center here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service with me, Jerome Toledo. And while the PhilHealth is still waiting for the release of or the return of the 60 billion peso fund from the National Treasury back to PhilHealth coffers, we have a statement coming now from the Department of Finance as they lauded the President Marcos Jr.'s decision to restore the PhilHealth or to restore the budget or that fund to the state health insurer. We are talking about the 60 billion peso that were remitted to the National Treasury pursuant to a provision of the General Appropriations Act of 2024. A portion of the statement from the Finance Department says that it confirms that it had communicated to the President a solicited opinion that since PhilHealth had improved its revenue performance, it supports a fund augmentation to boost the expansion of benefit and services, and it fully recommends the restoration of the reverted 60 billion pesos. And another factor is the creation of fiscal space created by the termination and suspension of flood control projects. And specifically, the restoration of the money will allow PhilHealth to meet its zero balance billing program obligations. That's what DOF said. And earlier, Dr. Pargas said that aside from zero balance billing, more benefit packages and health services will be expanded through its 60 billion pesos. So once the 60 billion peso fund will be returned to the PhilHealth, it will expand. They will expand more services, and they will upgrade more. They will upgrade their equipments and their services, and particularly their frontline services and also their digital services. And the DOF also said in a statement that the expansion of services requires the infusion of funds, and we in the revenue sector will do our job so that such an important public service will be financed. So that's coming from the statement from the Department of Finance. And the Finance Department is happy that the wasteful expenditures will now be rechanneled to hospital wards. So regardless if the fund will be returned or not, PhilHealth is happy that the money will be returning to their coffers, and once it returns, it will expand. They will expand their services, and also it will the zero balance billing will be expanded too. So it will be a great help. So PhilHealth members should watch out for the developments regarding the transfer of the 60 billion peso back to the state health insurer. And with that note, we conclude now this edition of Front and Center here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service, together with our technical team headed by Ms. Susan Aison, and from the Warcast, Justine Osias. And I'm your host, Jerome Toledo, saying mabuhay.
You have just heard and watched Front and Center. center. Front and center. Join us again for another edition here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Front and center.